Good evening and welcome, 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 welcome. You're listening to Season Air, the platform where we speak truth to power. Before we go ahead, please do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube and TikTok right now. We need your help. Subscribe to Season AY on YouTube and on TikTok right now. Subscribe, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up. Please share and gift us on TikTok. And of course, we welcome Super Chats on YouTube. Welcome on board. I've got good news. The man here that you see here, this man here, yes, the man here, the great man here, is done it again. Ibrahim Traore. Let us tell you why he's done it again. Okay, currently in Burkina Faso, it's one of the least electrified countries globally, currently at 90% overall, with 60% of the urban and only 3% of the rural population connected to electricity. Access to non solid fuels is also very limited, reaching around 8%. The country is facing a rapid increase in domestic energy and other sectors, including those industry, transport, urban, domestic demand. Coverage of these requirements are subject primarily by traditional biomass and butane gas for use, reaching to domestic cooking due to the strong pressure on forest resources. The sustainability of this potential becomes problematic. What does he do? Guess what? Great news. This is what he's done. He's connected with Russia. This is a can-do man. This is a can-do man. What has he done? Let's go and look at it. The government of Burkina Faso, chaired by President Ibrahim Traore, has decided to establish an atomic energy agency in the country. The document defines the provisions regarding the competence and operating rules of the Burkinian Atomic Energy Agency, BAAE. Can you see that? Can you see the vision of this great young man? Every African, we must protect this young man at all cost. At all cost. At all cost. We must make sure that everything about him is out there. This young man is doing incredible stuff. He's putting his people first. All of the funds is geared towards making his country is energy secure, security secure, financially secure. Everything is done. You know, industry secure, independent. Again, with the Alliance of Sahel States, we need more African countries to begin to join Alliance of Sahel States and adopt exactly what it's doing. This is a blueprint for the whole of Africa. Let's read on. According to Traore, the creation of the BAAE will ensure the energy independence, what did I tell you, of Burkina Faso, the industrialization of the country, and facilitate access to electricity throughout the country. In July, Burkina Faso government, let me just make sure I get this right. Make sure I want you to see it. So you can see that's in the country right there. In July, the Burkina Faso government passed a bill giving privileges and immunities to experts and International Atomic Energy Agency officials who will support the construction of its first nuclear power plant. At the end of March 2024, the Rosatom and the Ministry of Energy, Mines and Careers Burkina Faso also signed a roadmap establishing cooperation in the peaceful use of atomic energy. So let me look at the roadmap if I can find that for you. No, I'll do that later, but it's signed the roadmap. The document defines concrete steps to create human resources of the West African country in the field of peaceful atom and development of nuclear infrastructure, and the formation of Burkina Faso of a positive public opinion regarding nuclear energy. This followed a memorandum of understanding signed in 2023 on the construction of a nuclear power plant in Burkina Faso. You see that? You see that? This is a visionary. Share this news, please. Everything on this platform, on YouTube and on TikTok and all our platforms, and Xspace and Facebook, Instagram, we endeavor to bring great news about this young man, the visionary, the one that's above my head right there. Yes, and of course, you see General Chiani behind me here, and of course over there you see, of course, Assimi Goita. These are great men doing great things for Africa. They are showing us what can be done. They want an industrialized Africa. something that the colonials and the Western power don't want. Well, it's not their call. Not anymore. We, the people of Africa, will decide our own fate. For so long, they've been holding us back. Everything they've done, from the assassination of our great leaders to putting on uh, 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 development halting, IMF and World Bank loans, all designed to impoverish Africa. And of course, we know what they're doing with the vaccines. Anywhere we have resources, they flood the place with vaccines to keep us out of those places while they loot our resources. That's the fact. Now we need to wake up. Let us support Ibrahim Traore. This is a great move, and this is going to be. South Africa gave up the nuclear plant. Now this is going to be something we should have. Nigeria should already, Nigeria, yes, Nigeria, should, by all accounts, should have already been the one leading this charge to have Africa industrialized. But oh no, many of the leaders, because they're getting crumbs from the colonials, they are impoverishing their own people. Nigeria has five refineries. Not one of them is working. And we're having to import the oil that we make, that is from our soil. We have to go and import from North Korea, from Malta, from all of these places. And our the people to whom those resources belong, the sovereigns, the citizens, are left to suffer and be impoverished at the behest of those who have hoodwinked them to believe in this falsehood of these currencies used to strip Africa of our wealth. Enough is enough. We must support Burkina Faso. We must support Mali. We must support Niger. We must support Ibrahim Traore, as you see on the screen. We must support Assimi Goïta of Mali. We must support General Chiani of Niger. All these are great visionaries. So we salute Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traore, the great visionary. Every African should be putting this news out there. This is a great news, something we must put out there to shame those colonials who are intent on trying to unalive this man. They've made 9 attempts at his life because they don't want to see Africa succeed. They are making attempts using proxies that are put up from within the country and around the country, Algeria and other places, using proxies to try and take him out. We must all stand up. We must make sure that we shine that light to make sure that the Western powers must understand that Africa is off limits to them. They cannot be doing this. They have destroyed our development and our progress long enough. We must support Ibrahim Traore, we must support Assimi Goïta, and we must support General Chiani, all 3 that you see on the screen. We need to support them. This is really, really important. This is a great move, and we salute Ibrahim Traore and his great vision that must be replicated across the whole of Africa. We're not interested in destroying anything or touching anything in Europe or America or Canada or the G7. We're not interested. We are only interested in seeing Africa develop, and we do not need the help of those who are holding us back. They come up with all of these diseases, all named. Oh, Ebola. Yeah, it's not from Africa. Monkeypox, not from Africa. These are designed in labs, and we need to start calling this out. And they say to us, Africa is poor, but then they're swarming all over African resources. You will see their hands in our gold. You will see their hands in our oil. You will see that the colonials are nothing more but vermin. They are coming out and telling us lies against ourselves and turning our people against us on our own continent. Something that we don't do. We don't come to turn their people against them on their own land. And they repeatedly take the land of our people. 75% of the land, 73% of the land that should be in the hands of South Africans, are in the hands of those same people who used the 1892 Land Reform Act brought in by Rhodes, who stole land from Africans. And you have the temerity to talk to us about democracy or morality. What morality? We must fully support Ibrahim Traore. Like I said again, I'm being very clear about this. We are not interested in anything in Europe. We just need to be left alone to develop. Leave Africa alone. You have taken enough already. And as we speak, the resources, our ancestral artifacts are in museums earning you money. Enough. Enough. Stop interfering in the development of Africa. And we are putting all of you, all of the mainstream media, any news you put up that's negative against any of these leaders, we are coming out. Not just myself. There are many. Go and look on all the platforms. Africans are speaking up. You cannot shut us up. You can't shut us up. It's not just me. There are many people who are doing exactly what I'm doing. We are tired of this injustice. We are tired of the lies you're spewing on Africans. We are tired of you covering up the looting. Oh, we are benevolent. When in actual fact, you are sucking the wealth and the life out of Africa. The sham of we are the world and all of that nonsense. It's time we call it out. Africa is not poor, and you know it. The Western media knows Africa is not poor. And they come and say, oh, well, the rich nations are coming to help Africa. And they always come to help after they put diseases that's made in the lab, spread it into Africa. And then they say, oh, we're coming to help you. Under the guise of helping, they clean up, they take our resources repeatedly, remorselessly. We must be independent and we must have our own manufacturing base on the African continent. Again, like I said, for the people of Europe, please hear me. We're not here to, our talk is not with yourselves. It's the systems that the Western governance has been using to oppress and suppress Africa on the African continent. There is no way any African can accept that anymore. And the youths behind myself, many of them are speaking, not just me. They are saying, no, we've had enough. They've died in the Mediterranean. They've been enslaved in the Arab Republic as I speak. Women have been enslaved in Iraq. Nothing is being done by African Union. African Union is the puppet of the EU. Again, the borders that you created are still holding us back. We're not able to trade freely on the African continent. Then you say Africa cannot do anything. Let us call it out. We support Ibrahim Traore. And not to talk about the fact that even those countries, they put puppets in place. Everything to do with Africa, the West is holding Africa back. All the evidence, a plethora of evidence is available. And if you want to ask me, I can put it before you. There's research. People are doing research and digging this up all the time. We see you. We see what you're doing. We see the lies. This monkeypox thing is a fraud. It is created in a lab in Denmark. You can damn me if you want. It is in Denmark. And somehow from there, they brought it into Africa. Let us stop this nonsense. And then you come and say Africa is poor. Under the guise of that, you loot the resources. We are calling all of this out. So we support Ibrahim Traore for the visionary act, the steps he's taking. And we must support them. And everybody watching this, please share this broadcast. Make sure the news gets out there. The great work being done by this young man. He's not interested in the wealth. What's wealth? Paper. Paper is being used to take away our wealth by these colonial thieves. And then they come and say, oh, Africa is poor. Anytime we hear it, we're going to be challenging it from here on. Not just myself. We know what you're doing. We know when the news, oh, Africa, the West is coming to help in Africa. You are putting Africans in countries in debt. And you're making sure that those money never get to be used on the African continent to develop Africa. And then you blame Africans. Stay out of Africa then. Stay out. Why are you swarming around and taking our resources? Why? We will keep showing this. We will keep. People of the Europe must understand this is what their government is doing. The G7s, they are all about stripping Africa of our resources, even taking the land. And this is injustice. The youths of Africa are not going to accept it anymore. Represented by Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goita, General Chani, who's behind me, and they are all working to make sure Africans benefit from our resources. We are sovereigns on our continent. Europeans are sovereigns on the European continent, and nobody is stopping them. Equally, nobody is allowed to stop Africa from being sovereigns on their own continent. It is wrong that the colonials are enslaving Africans on their own continent, when Africans are doing none of the sort to Europeans on their continent. This injustice must stop. It is going to stop whether you like it or not. And the likes of Ibrahim Traore are showing us the way. We are calling on all our other African leaders and African government youths to begin to see the leadership in themselves in every country and bring leaders that are no longer going to be allowing themselves to be puppets to the colonials who are sucking the blood out of Africa. This injustice is enough. It's got to stop now. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's support Ibrahim Traore. He's doing a fantastic work. Everything about him, we must protect him on the social media, on the off screen. Make sure the people of Africa are aware and fully behind him. And any attempts being made by the West to try and sully him or to turn the people against them, we are ready en masse. There are thousands and thousands, millions of Africans who are going to be raising their alert to make our people know that any attempts they should not trust any of the press. Any of the press, the Western media press, because they are spreading propaganda to us to get the people to turn against their own people. And the time will come where those press will not be allowed in Africa. We don't want your press. We don't want anything from you. Africa can develop on its own. Africa left alone, just like, and we are going to do what China did. China closed up shop and developed itself. Nobody coming in, because we are tired of Africa being suppressed by the same people who say we are helping, we are going to give aid. What aid are you giving? Africa is the one who's giving you aid. You are forcing Africa to give you aid by stripping us of our wealth. That is injustice that cannot be defended anywhere on this planet. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Citizenwide, the platform where we speak truth power. Let us support Burkina Faso. Let us support Burkina Faso's Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traore. Let's support Mali's Assimi Goïta. Let us support Denachani's Niger's Denachani. They are speaking up for Africans. They're showing that they're leading the way. What Africans expect of their leaders. The leaders who are giving to the people, who are nurturing the people, who are protecting the people from exploitation and suppression by the colonial powers. Let us support this. So this is great news. Please share this broadcast. You are, of course, watching Citizenwide, the platform where we speak truth to power. We must support Ibrahim Traore. This is great news. This is something that we should be singing about on all platforms. The vision to build Africa's first nuclear power plant. In recent times, South Africa voluntarily gave theirs up because they didn't want it in the African continent. Now it's going to be headed by Africans, and they're doing it with the support of the Russians. And the West have no business in telling us who to do business with. They need to stop this. We're not children on the African continent. Stop this nonsense. We're not your toys. We're not chattels. Enough of it. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Citizenwide, the platform where we speak truth power. All Africans, please let us share this news. When you get this broadcast, please do share. Help this platform go viral. We are here 1,000% behind the Alliance of Sahel States. 1,000%. Because they are protecting themselves. They're not going into Europe, but they are continually being invaded. As we speak, they have put Alliance of Sahel States has tabled a report against Ukraine for supporting terrorism to come into Mali and to try and attack and unalive several people. This is injustice. Again, imagine any African country going to Europe and doing this. What do you think would happen? But no, they're justified. You're not justified. And the people of Africa, of Europe, need to know this is what the EU and all of this G7s are doing. This is injustice, and Africans are standing up. We're not telling you that we're not doing anything to Europe. Just leave Africa be. Leave Africa be. Please, when you get this podcast, please do share. You're watching Citizenwide, the platform where we speak truth to power. Back later on. Don't forget, subscribe to Citizenwide on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to Citizenwide on YouTube. Hit the notification button. Give us thumbs up. Help us reach more people. I'll be back probably later on tomorrow. I might even do a broadcast tonight if I feel up to it. Yesterday I had to just take the day off a little bit in terms of coming on live, but I couldn't because anyway I had to. I think I did a bit too much, and sometimes you have to get the sign. Okay, switch off. So I'm trying to change a few things. Hopefully, it'll be okay. I just came tonight to just do this broadcast because I felt this was so important. Let us support and hail this historic moment that Ibrahim Traore has brought about. The the beginnings of setting up a nuclear power station to power the industries of Burkina Faso. That is a great leader. Nothing to do with, we don't care about the name democracy. It means nothing. It is just a way for the West to loot African resources. That's the pure fact. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Back later on. Thank you and bye for now.